We're back for another episode. In this episode I'm going to be doing Hydra for the Monk Relic, which is my last relic. Woohoo! And the most important thing to remember about this fight is to wear your unfinished relic, otherwise you won't get credit towards the quest. So before going into the fight, make sure your unfinished relic is equipped, in my case the unfinished Sapphire. So we have a very well geared, well, I say very well geared, somewhat well geared tank. I'm just curious why his health is not a lot higher than this. Okay, so he's wearing a lot of damaging gear rather than health. I was wondering why his health was so low. So, after you defeat Hydra, you need to do the 3 hard mode primals, and then your relic is done. So, to be honest, Hydra is probably the last real challenge of the relic quest, just because finding groups is a lot more difficult. And then I guess the most difficult fight is obviously hard mode Titan, but these days people have done it so much that they find it easy, you know? As a melee DPS, make sure that you don't get hit by the tail swipe or the cleave at the front either. It's best to just stay at his sort of side towards his back leg like I'm standing right now. And when the ad spawns, which you can see on your little threat list here, you need to kill it as soon as possible. Now, when Hydra runs to the middle of the room, you need to make sure that you go in there with him, because he will do an ability called Fear Itself, which will terrorize the people in the middle of, who are not in the middle of the room. You really have to kill this ad as quickly as possible, otherwise he's gonna make Hydra stronger. This is what he just did. Okay, so he's gone to the middle again, doing Fear Itself, so we need to kill it. Sorry, not kill it, you need to be as close to it as you can. Almost there, last sort of 20% to go. It's okay to stand in the ice, but it's not okay to stand in the fire, because standing in the fire will actually give you damage over time. One advantage you have as a monk is that if you're far away from the target and you're heavied, you can just use shoulder tackle from quite a decent distance. I think 10 yards away at least, then you'll be able to do it. Or between 10 to 20, so anything closer than 10 you can't shoulder tackle, anything further than 20 and you can't. Don't forget, as a monk you can always use second wind to heal yourself a bit. It lessens the burden on the healers. Going to focus Hydra because he was dead. There you go. Hydra done successfully for the 9th time. So I'm just going to give it to one of the other DPS. Let's exit. So now let's teleport straight back to North Shroud, talk to Geralt and see what we're doing next. So, what a relief, eh? You put in so many months of work to get to a certain point in an online game, and it's the best way to play MMOs, is to always be like ahead of the game, so to speak, because it means that when new stuff comes out, like when patch 2.2 comes out in just over a week's time, you'll be able to go in like head first to explore all of the new stuff without having to worry about old content anymore, because you've already done the old content. It's just a case of do and spend all of your time concentrating on the new stuff. So the members of my free company, for example, we will be spending all of our time in turn 6 onwards because, you know, we've already done everything else. Okay, so here's Geralt. So Geralt says, you're still alive? Why the hells do you adventurers have to be so goddamn sturdy? I was bloody sure you'd be Hydra dung by now. But what's done is done, or in this case not done. Anyway, let's talk about the text you brought. It outlines Yvonne Coralfist's partial philosophy as set down by the man's foremost disciple. According to the writer, the Sapphirite ain't no ordinary weapon. Apparently they are tools for tapping amongst chakra, whatever the hells that is, throwing open the floodgates or something. Buggered if I know how it works, but I do know the fist needs some crystals embedded in them. Chakra, the ether, what courses through your body, you say? That explains the bloody crystals then. As you can see, I've done my research. I trust you've also been pulling your weight, putting the relic to use like I said. Well, go on then, tell me what you've learned. Is that so? I'd wondered about that. Based on what we've gleaned from the text and your first-hand experience, I'll rework the relic as to improve your affinity with it. Hand it over for a second, will you? Okay, so now I need to hand over the unfinished relic. So I'm going to re-equip my original weapon. So let's hand it over now. So Geralt says, there, the deed's done. That leaves us with one last step. That is fully merging the old relic, the new host, and the soul of the bearer. Aye, that's you. Only then can the weapon be restored to its former glory. But to do this, I need a fire what's hotter than the seventh hell. And to keep such a fire alive and raging, I need a wind what's fiercer than the hangover I had last week. Guy, you know what I mean. And just get me a white hot ember, a howling gale, and a chunk of hyperfused ore, and I'll finish your bloody weapon. And I need me a bottle of Radzahan quenching ore as well to cool it off. So the white hot ember, the howling gale, and the chunk of hyperfused ore can be obtained by defeating Ifrit in the bowl of embers hard, Garuda in the howling eye hard, and Titan in the navel hard respectively. The bottle of Radzahan quenching ore can be obtained by exchanging 900 Allagan tombstones of philosophy with Ariana, one of Rowena's assistants at Revenant's Toll. Okay, so the next part is to do the free hard modes. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie.